About 6 months ago, I herniated 2 of my discs in my lower back, and I've had back pain before, but this put me out, and it is the worst. So now I can relate to people that have had back pain like this. So thankfully, I'm on the up and out. About 80 to 90% of these thankfully will heal on their own, but there's so many things you could be doing to help speed up the recovery and stay in recovery when it comes to herniated discs. I'm doing a video next week about all the different products that I've bought and reviewing if they were helpful or just a waste of money, but ultimately one of the biggest things that I have found helpful for this is this inversion table. I looked at a whole bunch of different inversion tables, but with the help of my uncle who had the same issue, he recommended this FitSpine X3 from Teeter, and it is awesome. I was gonna get a cheap one on Amazon, but then he's like, do you really wanna be hanging upside down in a cheap inversion table when you already have an injury? Yeah, I was like, that's a good point. And that was enough for me to go ahead and get this one. So I wanted to jump in and do a quick review, kind of show you the things that I like about it, how to use it, and my overall thoughts on it. Okay, so with my videos, I normally go through and have a list of pros and cons, but honestly, there's like no cons that I have with this. Just with inversion tables in general, of course, there's gonna be some discomfort, which would be the cons, which is that you're upside down and blood fills your head and your ankles kind of hurt because that's where you're being held by, but that's not unique to just this one. But honestly, I feel like when it comes to the ankles, it's a pretty good setup. And if it does hurt you, there's different attachments that they sell to make it more comfortable. I find that the more I use it, the more used to it I get, and I can just wear shoes and that helps with that. Working from the top to the bottom, here's a couple things that I really like about this. First thing I like is it comes with a soft cushion for your head, but I decided to go ahead and purchase, I think it was like a $30 add-on to get a neck stretcher, so I'll show you what that looks like. So it gives you 2 options. You can take this blue one and attach it on here, and that will create a pretty intense stretch on the neck, which I prefer. But if you're looking for something just a little bit less intense, it has this attachment here, which basically head goes here. There's a little spot here for your spine to start going down the back. And then overall, this whole thing can just rotate. That's one of the things I really like about this brand is that everything's pretty modular and they have a bunch of different attachments that you can use. So now that I've Velcroed that, I can rotate it to my needs. Well, there's a bunch of slots where you can attach these pressure points. I just kind of messed with it till I found what works for me. Some people really hate this. I personally really like it because the whole point of this is to kind of get your back realigned and relax some muscles, and this is a great way to do that. They're super easy to install. You just slide this back tab in and then rotate it, and then it locks on. Okay, working our way down, the next thing I really like about this is that it has this lumbar support, which is really adjustable. You can basically bend it more and more if you want more of an arch. If you want to install that, you just go ahead and hook it in the bottom first, and then pick the height or the curvature you want and hook it in the top. You got, again, more and more of these spots to just hook tons of different attachments to. When you get the X3 version of this, you get these little handles up here, which are really nice for when you're inverted. You can kind of push more and adjust your back a little bit more that way. Down here, it's pretty nice. You have this height adjustment, and it's just based off of your height. So I'm 6'1", so I have it set to 6'1". The next thing you'd want to do is set your angle. You basically take this strap, adjust the height you want. It's got a red and green marker to let you know how far you can go. As you tilt it back, you clip it on, and it will limit how much this can invert. I just like having the ability to go full inversion. Finally, number 3, this is the ankle lock. So it's designed super well. You got this big button, pull that, locks it down, and it's super secure. I really like the ankle lock design on this. This foam is soft but still firm that I don't feel like I'm gonna fall out of it. Just to show you how this works. So now for the demo. First things first, if you want to store this, it's pretty easy. You just slightly lift up on those and then push on this. And then I just kind of store that up. And when you do this, you want to take this around and strap it so this doesn't fall. Okay, then you just kind of pop it back down and it's locked and ready to go. And I'm not gonna go into like crazy detail on how to balance this, but I'll show you kind of just a quick review for that because they have their own manual and videos on this. But basically, you can adjust 2 things mainly, and it's right here at the hinge, and then right down here where you set the height like I talked about earlier. This right here I found from my height and weight, I'm 6'1" and about 195. I just have one hole in. This is where you adjust it down in here on both sides. And then I found that my balance is like perfect for this. You get in by pushing that button, and then it comes down. Click it, not to the very tightest, but one just shy of the tightest, just because I feel like once you have all that weight on it, it's nice to have a little bit of room. A little tip when you're getting out is you push the button down and then towards the floor a little bit, and then you can lift up. That's how you get out. Again, if you're doing this for the first time, getting things balanced, I definitely would only do this with someone watching you to help you get back up, because while you're getting it balanced, there's a high likelihood that you don't know how to get back up. But I'll show you my tips on how I get back up. I took off the tension cable because I want to be able to go full inversion. You know you're really balanced when you put your arms like this and you're in full right position. But then what they recommend and what I do is I just do one arm at a time. And now I'm kind of flat. And then once I go to the other arm, full inversion. Now I'm completely locked in. I'm able to do twists and turns, and I feel it pop, and it just feels so good. They recommend as you're doing this that you start off by just doing short sessions, like 2 minutes, and it's all about consistency rather than just long durations of this. So multiple times a day if you're able to. I find that if I keep my arms below my head, it kind of helps have that blood go more towards my arms than just purely my head. But no matter what, you're gonna get a head full of blood. When you wanna get back up, you actually lean all the way against the back, and then keep your arms down, and that's how you're gonna get back up. Sometimes you get a little stuck here, so then you just grab these handles, slightly shift your weight, bend your knees, and that'll bring you up forward. So I would definitely go ahead and say that this is the best inversion table that you can get for the money. They have a tier that's higher than this, which comes with like a floor thing, and it just seems a little bit gimmicky to get that one. I feel like this is the one that you want because you still have these handles that you can kind of push and twist with. I like having this neck stretcher with it. It just helps me get a little extra out of this whole setup here. Honestly, I love it. It's been a huge help for me. I could barely walk with my herniated discs, and I won't say that this healed it. I won't say that this was the only thing. I've been doing so many other things that's been helping a ton, like seeing doctors and getting shots in the back, but I definitely can contribute a lot of the recovery to having something like this to kind of decompress that spine and let those discs absorb back into the right place. Again, next week I'm gonna show you all the different products that I've bought and different techniques that I've done to help with my herniated discs, and they really have helped. Like I thought I was gonna need surgery for sure because I could barely move, but now I'm able to do a lot of things which I have not been able to do for months. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. It would mean a great deal to me. And again, next week I'm releasing a video with all the different products that you can buy to help with back pain, specifically when it comes to herniated discs. Thanks for watching. We'll see you for the next one.